So, unfortunately, everyone's favorite crypto influencer, CoinW, is wrong about a recent video he made on touching on a very important part of crypto. And I wanted to break it down because if you fail to kind of adhere to what I'm about to say, you can actually lose a lot of money in this space. Matter of fact, if you actually listen to this and apply it, you should be able to make a lot of money as well. Now, he made a video on tokenomics, particularly around kind of two very important points. First of all, FDV, or fully diluted value. He brought up some points here which most people in the space are getting wrong because it's honestly a more stock market related thing, and also regarding market cap. This is something I've been speaking about quite a lot, and I'm going to play you a clip in just a moment here of another influencer who actually was the first person to introduce this to me about 12 or so months ago. And ever since then, I've been breaking down my pre-existing barriers, my mind going, all these big influencers are talking about how this is true, and all of these other influencers saying it's not true. What's the reality, right? You want to believe the guys who have more subscribers like CoinW. But guys, allow me the time today to break this down to you, because I'm not joking when I truly do mean that you can lose money listening to CoinW and others. Now, first of all, okay, let me just put my hands up and say, I'm not trying to point out CoinW. Besides from talking to you about what he explains in his video, I'm not going to make this a blame game, okay? Actually, I think CoinW is a fantastic YouTuber who I still, to this day, push people to listen to, because he's one of the very few examples of someone I think a lot of beginners and even intermediate, crypto people need to listen to, because he does have some good information. So it's not a personal attack here. If you listen to this, maybe a lot of respect for you, more than what I do for most people in the space, that is for sure. But again, this is an important topic. So before we get into it, guys, just remember, look, if you do find yourself enjoying this video, a lot of time goes into it. Many months that you haven't seen, right, on the channel, have gone into breaking down my own barriers. I would love if you could drop a like on this video to help support all I do here, and also hit the subscribe button as well, because you need this alpha on a daily basis to succeed in this ever-changing space. So I want to first of all start off by saying, yes, we'll discuss FDV today and why that's a bunch of baloney, but also what he's going to say here in regards to the market cap as well. Take a listen.
Now, when I say tokenomics, the first thing you might think of is market cap. And we all know that the larger the market cap a crypto has, the more money that's needed to move its price, and vice versa. But
he is technically not incorrect. Yes, the more market cap theoretically a project has, the more it basically requires to move the price up, theoretically. But that's actually not entirely true at all. Take Mason here. Crypto Mason, you guys may know him. He, again, is the guy that initially got me to start thinking critically around 12 or so months ago. This somewhat more recent video of his actually posted to his Instagram explains what I'm about to say here in much more detail, obviously not including FDV, but this is regarding market cap and why people can, again, even the likes of CoinW with a full team behind him, right, can get such an important thing wrong, okay? Let me just first of all preface by saying, guys, when we're looking at market cap, it is easy to think if a price of a project has to 2x, the market cap has to 2x. It's almost as if the market cap has to 2x first, and the price, of course, just reflects whatever the market cap is. That is completely wrong. Market cap is a number to roughly gauge how much money is invested in the coin, but in reality, it's just a made-up number. It doesn't even actually reflect that at all. Let me explain by letting Crypto Mason explain first of all.
That market cap does not matter at all. It only matters in one specific way, which is psychologically. But you do not invest into the market cap. That's not the amount of money that's invested in the coin. Also, if the market cap goes up, the price doesn't go up. It works the opposite. If price goes up, market cap goes up. Market cap is a simple calculation of circulating supply, so how many tokens are circulating on the market, times the price. So that is the calculation. So technically, if I make a crypto token with 1 trillion circulating supply and I get you to buy one of the tokens for $1, that would make it a 1 trillion market cap coin. So the real thing that you need to know is what drives the price up, because price is what matters. The price going up and down. And that is simply based on buyers and sellers and what they're willing to buy and sell the token for. It's based on volume. How many trades are going back and forth, and is that price getting bigger? It is simple supply and demand, but market cap has nothing to do with it. So here on this page, I try my hardest not to evaluate coins by market cap and not to think that market cap can hold some of these coins back.
Very important. Market cap, theoretically, most people assume that might hold the coin back. So when people hear me like give a price prediction for some of these coins, how can Celestia hit 60 billion market cap? No, it doesn't mean that the market cap or the price will have to 60 times itself to get there. It's all got to do with price. So let me just explain visually what he just said right there. And I don't want to touch on this in too much depth because if you want to dive in deeper, I'll leave some links down below to other videos I've made recently on this topic. This is just to pretty much talk about kind of what Coin Bureau recently said. And again, not pointing fingers at Mr. Bureau himself. I'm just sort of saying this is a generalized misconception in the crypto space. So market cap is cap, plain and simple, right? Now, again, you're probably going to walk away after this video and still look at the market cap like it means something. And like Crypto Mason said, it actually kind of does matter in that sense, and you aren't wrong by still doing that because it is a psychological thing. If you see Celestia at a 60 billion market cap, you're going to assume it's overvalued. I better sell. You won't care about the price. You won't care about other fundamentals, upcoming catalysts to make it more of an appealing project for people to buy. You don't care about that. You're looking at the market cap and going, 60 billion, it was at 1 billion earlier this year. What the hell? I'm going to sell, right? But again, it doesn't actually work that way. So it does still have a place, just not entirely to the full degree in which you think. So again, like he said, the way that we actually work out the market cap, a very important metric people seem to always rely on here is by multiplying the price, okay, times the supply, the current supply, right? And so if you actually did this right now for Wormhole, 65 cents times 1.8 billion, you would get exactly this market cap. This is what the algorithm does on all of these CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, so on exchanges, right? And the way that we find the price is pretty funny, right? We pretty much take the average, the last traded price on all of the exchanges and then average it out. So all of these exchanges you're seeing here, right, we take the average and that average gives us that price, okay? And pretty simply, the supplies are multiplied by that. But again, doesn't the market cap 2xing still mean it needs double the amount of demand to still move the price? Well, no. Like Mason said briefly there, it's all based on volume, particularly this plus 2% and minus 2% depth, right? This is the money required to make each individual market, move. So in this case for Binance, if I threw $500,000 in a Binance and I bought W, it would move the price 2% up on this. Likewise, if I decided to sell $610,000 worth of Wormhole on Binance, right, it would actually move this, at least this price here, down 2%. Now, you'll see some of these other exchanges have a lot less. If I went to Kraken and I invested $20,000, I would move the price on this exchange listing up here by about 4%, okay, because it's a double of what this says here to move at 2%. So basically, that's how it works. It then takes the average. You'll notice that all of these prices are slightly different, and they all sort of somewhat stay in relative synchronicity, okay? You can see here some like Bitfinex are, a couple cents off, for example, but most of the time they stay the same. Why? It's very simple, right? They stay the same because of arbitrages, because of market makers, because liquidity, all these things that kind of go into it. People are always going to be there trying to make small changes. If I was an arbitrager and I had millions of dollars to spend, right, and I pretty much bought this coin to some degree, and I went to then Binance and sold it, you can make some good money, right? You're talking about hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars. That's what people actually do. So the depth itself, or the volume, like Mason said, actually is what moves the price. It's got nothing to do with how much money has to be invested in the coin itself to move it. Market cap, again, is a made-up number. It's always the price times the supply. This just gives us a kind of a really weird idea of how much money is theoretically floating in the coin. Again, it's just a made-up number in this case. It really doesn't mean that much. And so, again, to summarize, for a coin to 2x its price, right, it doesn't need the market cap to 2x first, if at all, okay? It doesn't need that extra demand to flow into the coin. The market cap will always reflect that growth in the coin, right? That 2x. If everyone bought up a bunch of Wormhole on these exchanges today, maybe because Wormhole had a massive roadmap event that came up and it caused a whole bunch of buy pressure, the market cap would of course go up 2x. It would follow the price, but it wouldn't have to have that much demand invested into it to do that. Okay, so it always comes from the last traded price on the average of all of these exchanges. So for example, let's take Pyth, right? Pyth recently had an unlock where it over doubled its supply instantly on one day. Now, it didn't require $1.2 billion of money to flow into the coin to make that happen, okay? It just simply had an increase in the amount of tokens, okay, circulating. And then what the algorithm did was, okay, the price is still the same here. So now price times this new supply is going to give us the new market cap, okay? So there wasn't this magical on this day, $1.2 billion unlocked into the token. No, not at all. Alrighty, it was just the algorithm, multiplying it. Therefore, it had this massive spike up in market cap. This is the market cap, by the way, for Pith. This is the same for many, many, many coins like this. All right. So again, price for Pith, all of these exchanges averaged gave us that price, plus then the new unlock. All right, this new unlock here happened over doubled its supply. So the algorithm went, okay, so the price times this new supply, boom, we're going to send the market cap parabolic. Nothing changed. Again, the market cap is a theoretical number. I saw on a video, I actually mentioned this a few weeks back. I had a few people comment like, well, Kyron, that now means that it's going to be harder for the project to climb multiples. Not at all. I just showed you it all depends on the volume or the depth on each of these exchanges. The market cap's a made-up number. Now, yes, admittedly, for Pith to then theoretically go to my price prediction of like $10, for example, the market cap might look a little bit gnarly, right? The market cap might be like $50 billion. Again, doesn't mean you're going to have to 25x the market cap from now till then. The price, again, depicts that, but that might cause a psychological reason for people to go, oh, Pith's at 50 billion market cap now. That's quite a lot. That's crazy. But again, it's a made-up number. That's the only reason market cap really makes a difference. One last thing on the case of market cap, this is what Mason said before as well, right? If there was an example coin and there was 1 trillion tokens, right? And the last traded price on the only single exchange was Binance, and one person, like I sold to you one of these coins for $1, just one of these coins, right? The algorithm would go, oh, the last traded price was $1, so therefore the market cap's 1 trillion. $1 last traded price, okay, times by the supply is 1 trillion. So you can see it's a bunch of BS, right? It really doesn't mean much, and I get it, right? You're probably going to walk away going, I mean, it sounds legit, it sounds true, but not that important. I don't really care. But guys, whenever you come to a situation where you have an influencer that's going to, hey, guys, for Celestia to get to a $200 token, the market cap's going to have to be 200 billion. Well, theoretically, that's kind of correct. Again, that's what it'll display, but it doesn't need that much demand or money invested into it for it to get there. A lot of that is fake because a lot of that is an unlock of tokens, right? Just like in the example of Pith, where we have a massive unlock of tokens over here. Well, what happens is, again, the market cap will like double or triple instantly, doesn't have that much demand thrown in, and so people go, oh, okay, well then now we just have a larger market cap project, okay? So you can see why it can be very easily blown out of proportion. Now, one last thing Mr. Bureau says as well, again, I just want to preface, guys, please do not take this as a personal attack on CoinW. I love this guy, done a lot for me and the space. Big props to him. But him and others, okay, we'll say others, get another thing wrong, which is FDV, his main sort of talking point in this video. Now, FDV plays a definite important role in the traditional markets, definitely. But for crypto, not so much, because we have these things here called vesting schedules. Now, he kind of answered his own question in this, in which he was saying there's a big problem with these new cryptocurrencies these days where they have low float, low starting supply, basically, and they have a lot of tokens still to unlock. But what these people seem to forget is that actually this is completely normal. It is completely normal, and I'd much rather have low float and unlock tokens over a 5 to 10 year period than a super high float sometimes. And one of the things he said was a lot of these new coins have very low initial floats, right? So starting circulating supply, and they'll unlock tokens over a long period of time, which therefore has a high FDV, right? Fully diluted value. And in essence, what FDV is the amount of tokens that will be in circulation at the very end of the vesting. So all the way over here for Wormhole in month 56. And basically, FDV allows you theoretically to say, you can't quite see it here on CoinMarketCap, it's not showing right now for Wormhole, but it tells you, okay, if the FDV is all the unlocked tokens, this is how much dilution is going to happen to the project over the course of time, which means it's going to require X amount of demand or market cap invested in it to stay the same price. So for example, the FDV, I don't know why it's not showing for Wormhole, but this would actually be about 6.5 billion. How do I know that? Well, again, the way you look at FDV is by taking all the total tokens, total supply, multiplying that by the current price, and that'll give you a market cap, right? So it's 6.5 billion. And this says, well, we're going to have to pretty much have around 6.5 times the amount of demand in market cap invested, which again is BS, as we just saw, invested into the coin itself for it to stay the same price, right? So just to keep the same price. But what people don't realize about FDV is, again, it's unlocked over the whole course of the vesting schedule. I want to ask the question, why are we concerned with when the project has all the tokens out, like over here 10 billion for Wormhole, in the year 2029? I don't know about you guys, but I'm not holding to that long. I'm going to bloody sell this cycle. I'm going to make some money this time around, right? So we're likely to sell somewhere over in this patch here. We don't know for sure because the bull run might end whenever, and my sell levels might hit on Wormhole in month 10, for example, right, sometime this year. But safe to say the worst we're looking at in this case is about here for Wormhole, about 5.5 billion tokens in circulation, which means if we're going to use FDV at all, okay, if we're going to work out at what, how much dilution is required, which again is BS, for the project over the course of time, we're going to use the worst possible time for this cycle when we're getting out, which is 5.2 billion, not like 10 billion, for example, right? So again, it's also BS because what we have to understand is when these tokens unlock, unless they're completely going towards venture capitalists, aka people who will sell the token on the open market, therefore, as we just showed, will tank the price of the markets, therefore actually reducing the price and therefore the market cap, it doesn't matter. Because if, for example, Wormhole had a massive unlock, right? Like, let's just take Pith over here, for example. Let's say Wormhole had this massive unlock, 2.5 times the supply, but all of these tokens actually went to me. And I said, well, hang on, I'm not going to sell any tokens. Guess what would happen? Nothing. The price wouldn't do anything. Now, just in typical crypto fashion, we'll probably have, like we saw with Pith, some sell pressure because retail, like you and I, panic. We panic and go, there's a massive unlock happening. It's going to tank the price. But just like we saw with Pith in this example, only a very small slither of this was actually to people who were likely to sell, which is VCs, right? So the price actually literally pumped on the day, which is how you can make money, right? It literally fell from retail, and then when it unlocked, boom, went up. And of course, the market sentiment's doing its normal thing here, which is just normal, right? But anyway, so all I'm trying to say is it actually matters who has access to the tokens itself, because just in the case of Wormhole, these unlocks here might just go to the ecosystem funds. And if the ecosystem fund has tokens, well, guess what? They're just going to hold it. And if they're going to ever give tokens away for the betterment of the project to grow the project's presence in the crypto space, they're going to do something called an over-the-counter trade, which is give one-party tokens directly, like send it right to their wallet, rather than selling on the open market, therefore decreasing the price. There's no reason to do that, okay? These guys also have a requirement to make sure the price of their project doesn't fall to levels that scares the retail market. Believe you me, I talk with enough projects in the back end to know these guys actually give a crap about their perceived value in terms of their dollar price, basically, right? Now, contrast this to the opposite side of things like Optimism, right? Where Optimism had an actual massive unlock. These guys, again, basically doubled their supply. But these two entities that got all the tokens on this unlock were all VCs. These were all the guys that were designed to sell. And even then, on the day of the unlock, it only moved down at 3% from open to close. And then 9 days later, it tanked. Then it was brought back up again. So even the VCs themselves don't sell on the day, okay? They sell possibly, if at all, later on to then obviously even maybe add to their positions. So all this to say, I'm going to zoom out right here, guys. All of this is to say that, look, while I do love CoinW and love many other influencers that try to break through the noise, this is a very, very big misconception in the crypto space. And again, market cap, FDV, load of BS. If you're going to use FDV at all, make sure you use it at the time in which you think you're going to sell. That's like not even FDV, that's just like DV, diluted value, I guess you want to say at a point in time. And the market cap, again, is just a made-up number. It is more psychological than anything. You want to look at basically the catalysts that might give people a reason to buy the coin in the future, and look at that plus and 2% depth, even if you want to as well, to see how much it might require to move the coin overall. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you made it this far, you are crazy. No offense if you don't hit the like on the video. Thanks so much. Talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.